In this video, we are going to go over how to start performing a new checkup after having successfully set up your account and completed the customizations of the various settings. So after logging in, you are brought to this dashboard with metrics at the top and then some quick action buttons at the bottom. These quick actions are also in the upper toolbar, and so we can click New Checkup. And since this is showing you how to do your very first checkup, you're not going to have existing clients, so we will pick a new one. And here we are going to define all the information on this new client. And first step is to decide whether this is a residential or commercial account. Now, with residential accounts, they are tied to a single site or property. With commercial accounts, you can have multiple sites related to a single account. So think of, say, a dry cleaner that's got 5 locations across your town. That would be more useful as a commercial account. And for this example, we'll pick residential. You can provide an account number. Now, this could be your internal account numbers or any other type of account number you could think of. We do need to give this account a name, so we'll do John Doe. And the next option is to define the address of this account. Now, using this entry field here uses Google Maps to autocomplete. So if we do something like 600 Williams Drive, and as soon as you start typing, it'll pop up with a list of nearby addresses that could match. So we're going to pick this one here in Georgetown. After you select it, the street, city, state, and zip will automatically get populated. This also ties the latitude and longitude coordinates of this property so we can map it later. We can provide a phone number if needed, and also a client email, and then also any account related notes. So maybe we'll say this is a referral from Jane Doe. And then you need to assign it the price book. As mentioned in the earlier video on setting up your account, you can have more than one price book. This standard price book is tied to residential properties. That's why I defaulted to it. But if you had additional price books defined, you could select it. So but we're just going to go with the standard here and click Create Account. From there, we're brought to this new client account details page where we have the information that was entered. You can click the Show Map to go ahead and show a map of the property. You can edit this information if something needs to be updated or corrected. And then we have the site list. And as mentioned, since this is a residential account, we automatically have a single home site here. If this was a commercial account, you could have multiple sites listed here. But we are now ready to click the New Checkup button here. And just verifying this is for John Doe at the home site, and we could select the report type. So here, this is the reason for the checkup. And so let's just say this is a repair visit. And then the template that we're going to use, let's use the standard site visit, but you can choose whichever you want. Click Create New Checkup, and we are going to now be brought to the main checkup details page. Now, when we were doing the report template setup for this particular report type, we decided to enable the time tracking. So you can either click Start here. Go ahead and click that. You can see the timestamp has been recorded, and also the date performed has been automatically updated. And then we do have the show map option if you wanted to again see the property and just verify where everything is. You have some fields at the very top for checkup notes. So you could say something like yard seems extremely dry upon arrival, something like that. This will be shown on the report. But you also have internal notes, not displayed on PDF report, where you can write some information for review by your team or yourself at a later date, but these will be not displayed on the report to the client. Here we have the status. So this was a new checkup, so it's kind of initial default value, but depending on what was set up during the company profile customization, those different status values would be here. And then also the checkup reason you could change. But scrolling down, the first section is the system information. If you want to put some notes here, like controller not properly attached to the wall, something like that. You could add items to the quote initially. If you wanted to add a new controller, whatever. That is more system-wide, you would add them here. You may decide to first look at the water connection and backflow. These are the fields that were, again, customized, whether to be shown on the checkup or not. You can add the backflow device. So if you wanted to start tracking the different devices on your client sites. So you can provide as much information as you want. The type of backflow, let's say this is a double check, and let's say it's a 3/4 inch. Where is it located? Add street. So again, some internal notes regarding the backflow, and then if you are in the field, you can tag the geolocation. It'll record the latitude and longitude, and then click Add Backflow. And so there you can see it showing there in the main checkup page. We can answer these questions. Does the backflow need to be repaired or replaced? Let's say no here. And if we are testing static pressure, let's go ahead and put 75 psi in there. Now from there, you're likely going to go check out the controller. Again, these are the fields that you could turn on and off during the report template configuration. But we're going to have to add a controller here. Let's say it's located inside the garage. We're going to choose the manufacturer. Let's say this is a Hunter Pro C, and maybe it has a rain sensor. Now you can pick one or more. So if somehow I had flow on it, you could do that. And then also, is a master valve installed? Let's say no. And let's say that after looking behind the front panel, we see that 5 zones are wired up. You could add some internal notes here. Wiring is a mess from installer. And again, you can geotag this location that will show on the map. But for now, we're going to just click Add Controller. And when we scroll back down, we see we have the controller listed now. So this is an asset along with the backflow that's always going to be in this client's site information. So this information will not have to be re-entered the next time you do a site visit to do a checkup. So if you're doing another one at the end of the season, you're not going to have to do that. Now these fields, again, for the controller were set up during the template configuration. Do we need to repair this controller, sensor, master valve? Does the master valve solenoid or diaphragm need to be replaced? Those are all call outs that you can just quickly check off. And before going into storing the timer programming, I just want to scroll down and show that in the zone descriptions, we had entered that there were 5 zones tied to this controller. So 5 zones were created in the system. And we will, once you walk into the zones, can start describing where the zone is, what it's watering, and how is it being watered, and then adding repairs or photos. But while you're still standing at the controller, you may want to notate what the current settings are. So if we add a program, you can choose one of 4 program names, whether it's an existing or a new programming, what the seasonal adjust is, and then what watering day. So just imagine yourself sitting in front of the timer and clicking through the various menus. You're going to just record this information. So let's say it's watering on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2 a.m. and let's click next. And so here we have the 5 zones again that we've already defined being attached to this controller, and we're just going to add in the times that we see set up. And we will save this. And so after saving that program, we do get this saved to the report. You can see the daily runtime has been automatically calculated for you, and also the weekly runtime based on those settings. If you are performing a conservation style checkup and you add in a new program for program A, it will actually compare the 2 programs, and if you are adding the flow rate, whether estimated or recorded for each zone, it will actually automatically calculate the difference in water usage between an existing and a new program. So now, once that has been done, what you would likely do using a remote or setting up a test program to run each zone for several minutes, you would activate zone 1 and figure out where that is. You click edit, and you, let's, for example, say this is the flower beds in front yard, and you select what type of landscaping is it watering. So you can pick one or more of these, but let's just say this is high demand beds, and we are using fan sprays. Again, you can select one or more of those, and you also have the option to store the valve location using your mobile device. Again, clicking the geotag location would save the latitude and longitude of that position. And here you have the option of either saving this information and adding repairs if you see something that needs to be called out, or just clicking update to save this to the site record. Now again, once you fill out the zone descriptions here, you won't have to do that again unless something changes physically on the site. But that's what is great about this application is you are creating a record for each of these properties and making it much easier to do follow-on inspections. So let's move on to zone 2. Let's say this is front grass, a long driveway, something like that. And this is full sun turf, and let's say these are, again, fan sprays. This time we see there's some issues with some of these heads, so we're going to save and add repairs. And here are all of the callouts that were defined in that template configuration we did for the company. And so everything you see here is what we enabled. And so let's just say that there's a couple of 4-inch pop-ups that have to be replaced. And when we replace those, we're also going to replace the nozzles. And we also see that there's a misaligned head that's crooked that needs to be fixed. And so if you click this box, it's going to allow you to add photos of those issues to the report. We can give some notes. Let's say it looks like heads were run over with the car. And then here we can add some items. So we're going to add some pop-ups and nozzles. Click continue. And then what we need to do is add the quantity, and it's going to automatically add that. And if we add repairs to the checkup, we now have that zone completed. And if we scroll down, recommended zone repairs, we see zone 2. That's the information. So heads and nozzles are being replaced. Had we taken some photos, those photos would show up here. And then also in the quote summaries here, we see zone 2. These are the 2 items. And we currently have a total of $70. Now that information will also be displayed at the very top, your total system repair estimate. So you always have a sense for what is going on. And from here, we can create the report PDF if we're all finished. You would go through and finish these last 3 zones, add any other additional information. So let's go ahead and stop this. And there we have, currently we're 11 minutes into this checkup. Obviously, you'll normally take longer than that, but we can click Create PDF. And what this will do is take all the information that's been recorded and generate a PDF of this checkup. And so here we go. Here's the checkup showing the device information, the zone information, programming, the call out of issues found, any water supply issues, and then at the very bottom we have our quote. Now from here we can change the job status. So let's say we have, you can copy a link to this report, email it to the client, and we would update the status as incomplete, quote sent to the customer, and can then move on to your next appointment. Or you can click the View Parts, and this will show just parts. And so if you had any labor line items that would not be shown, this is just a parts list that you could download. You can create a PDF of this and then download it and email it off to your part supplier if needed. You can also view the quote directly. So if you're standing, your client is actually at the site, and you're reviewing things, you can actually present the quote and have the client sign it and save the signature, and then we can actually create the quote PDF to provide them. And so this will create just a PDF of the quote, including the signature that they had entered. If you go back to the checkup, if you want this report to include that signature, we would need to go back to the Edit Checkup, which we will be given a little warning here that's saying we're editing a checkup after a report's already been created. So are you sure you want to do that? Because that old report will be deleted. And that is how you create your checkups. And if we go to the incomplete box, we can see that we still have a status of incomplete, quote sent to customer. So if we go and finish this job, we can change to completed. We can generate the final PDF again if we want, and we will then again see that the signature is on there. Job status is completed. So